Yeah, hi Al. In the last session, we discussed about the API introduction, APIC introduction, and what are the different types of APIs, and what is the business value of API, what is API economy, and API current introduction, and API life cycle advantages and features, right? So, and also we discussed about how do we launch the API current instance in the cloud, IBM Cloud website, right? So, Lavanya, did you get a chance to try the same?
Yes, Rashikar, I tried. I created account also, but further proceedings I couldn't able to. I got an error. By seeing your recording, I'll follow.
Okay, okay, no problem. So if that doesn't work for you, so don't worry. I'll share my details. Okay. So it's
Okay.
working for me, right? So you can make use of this. Yeah. Hello,
Yeah.
Raj. Yesterday I've started the API Connect. Just I've explained the introduction part and everything. So I think I've uploaded those videos into the drive, but I didn't share that access with you all. I think. Lavanya,
Uh,
did you get this API
no,
video?
no, Rashikar, I didn't. We didn't get yesterday. I think we
Okay,
didn't share.
I think I didn't share the access with you.
Yeah, yes, yes.
I will share it. So Raj, please go to that video. It is just introduction. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So today let's try to create APIs now. Okay. So as discussed yesterday, so we have two kind of API, right? SOAP API and REST API, right? SOAP API and REST API. So first in the beginning of the session, so we will create the REST APIs and we will make use of the inbuilt policies what we have in the assembly. Okay. In general, in the projects as well, so we will expose the services as APIs in the API Connect. Okay. So let's assume that. So there is one now I will create one mock REST service. Okay. So I think we created in the data pour as well. Or else let me make use of one. Let me create one mock web service. So there is a website called markable.io. So using this website, so we can create either SOAP or REST web service, REST mock web service. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll create a web service, REST mock web service here in this, and I will expose this web service as API in the API Connect. Okay. I'll expose what are the REST service I'm going to create here. I'll expose this as API in the API Connect. Okay. So go to try now. This is the website. I'll ping you this link www.markable.io. You can create either SOAP or REST mark web service here. Submit. Just I wanted to create a REST, right? So if you wanted to create a go for SOAP, so click this options. I wanted to go for the REST now. So just I'm clicking and define new REST mark. Okay. So here you need to define your method. Verb is nothing but HTTP method. Like if you wanted to use the post or get, so depends upon your requirement. You can use here. So I wanted to go with the post method and the path here. So like markable data, what are the path you wanted to? Path is nothing but here the URI, service URI. Suppose if you wanted to mention any service URI, you can mention it here. Like mock service. Okay, let me give it as a mock service. Okay, so here this is the default configuration. So response status code is 200, content type it will accept JSON, right? This is a response body. This is a response body. So what are the requests you send to this mock web service, so it will always send a static response, this one. Okay, so instead of message hello world, so let me change this response welcome to API Connect. Okay, so whatever the request you send to this web service, so it will always send this static response back to the client. Okay, so now once you define everything, so here we have an option called save, right? Click save. So based on your change, it will save everything, and by default the mock service is stopped. Okay, in order to start it, so here click started. Now this mock web service is started, which is running. So now we need to get the URL to test it, right? See here. So it will show you the URL in both HTTP and HTTPS. So even though you are using HTTPS, it doesn't require the certificates. Okay. But for timing, let me go with this. It's simple HTTP. Okay. I copied this link. Let me go to the SOAP UI. So let me create one project. Okay. Let me create one project for APIC as well. Okay. So let me rename this project APIC. Okay. So here it's a post method, right? So this is a host of that mock demo 6 for mockable.io, and this service URI I mentioned, right? So this is a service URI, and we need to send some sample JSON message. So this is also valid JSON message, open curly braces and send it. See here, go to the status code 200, which means successful, and this is the response. See, response, welcome to API Connect. So this response I defined here, right? So the same response we are getting here. So whatever the request you said, irrespective of your request, it will always send the static response. Now our service is working fine, right? Now our REST, whatever REST service I created, so it is working fine, right? So this is the REST service URL and the post method, and we need to send some sample JSON message to this, and this will send the static response. Okay. Now I wanted to expose this service as API in the API connect in the most of the projects as well. So whenever you work on any API project, so you will also do the same thing. So there might be services, either they might be created on any technology, like let's say it might be created on IAB or data power. So all just wait, I'm getting one call. Sorry. Yeah, hello, her. Just give me 5 minutes. I need I need to go down due to some emergency. Just I'll be back within 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, hello guys, I'm back. Okay, let's continue the session. Yeah, in the projects also, you will do the same thing. Like those services, web services either that might be SOAP or REST, might be created on the Datapool or IAB or some other platforms. So you will expose them as APIs in the API connect. Yesterday I've shown you one diagram, right? So where services are exposing as APIs, and from those APIs in the API connect, and those APIs are consumed by the mobile applications, right? So I think you have remembered the diagram. In the same way we'll follow. So now this is a web service. Now I wanted to expose this as APIs in the API connect. So now this is a REST web service, right? Now this is a REST web service. I will expose this REST web service as REST API in the API connect. Okay, I'll expose this REST web service as REST API in the API connect. So this is a URL and it's a post method. We need to send some, the content type for this is application/JSON, which means we need to send some var JSON message to it, right? So you can hear me, right?
Yeah, Shekhar.
Yes,
We
yes,
are able to.
Yeah.
yes.
Fine. Okay. So now let me expose the REST web services as the REST API. So in the API account, we can create two kind of API, REST and SOAP API. And there is one more kind of API, which is OAuth provider API. So OAuth provider API we'll discuss later. For timeline, let's go with the REST API. Okay. So here yesterday I've explained that the API manager overview. Here go to drafts. In the draft, so we can create the products and the APIs. So here now I wanted to create a REST API. So for time being, I will mostly when we create an API itself, I will create a product. So within the product, there will be one default plan. Okay. So in the beginning of the session, so mostly I'll focus on the APIs. Once we're done with all the important policies in the API connect, so then after I'll switch to the product and what are the plans? How do we create a custom plan? There is a concept called rate limit, burst limit, and everything. So at the in the future I'll talk more about the product. So for timing, let's focus on only the APIs and its policies. Okay. So here, so the switch to APIs. So here, these all are the APIs which I created earlier. Okay. So that's why it is showing in the list. Here now I'm going to create a new REST API. So here click plus symbol. So if you choose new API, if you choose new API, automatically it will create a REST API. So just give the name of the API. So now let me name it as REST API or REST API. REST API underscore Ashok A. I think there is a letter called A earlier. L. Okay, Lavanya. Okay, REST API underscore L. So this is the title of the API, and the name. API name will be this. What are the title you provided here? It will remove any special care, and it will have only in lowercase letter. And this is the base path of the API. So I'll talk more about the base path in the future, but for timing, so just remember it. This is a base path. Okay, what are the API name you will provide here? What is the title you provided here? The same thing. What is the API name? So the same API name will consider as a base path here. If you wanted to change the base path also, you can change it. But for timing, let's go with the default one. And whenever you create any API, by default, the version would be the 1.0.0. So let's go with the same version. And whenever you are creating any API, by default, it will secure with it a client ID. By default, whenever you are going to create any API, by default, that API will be secure with the client ID. In the real time also, we use mostly in the same way. But at this moment, I don't wanted to secure the API by default with the client ID. So we will discuss the security aspects later. Okay. So in order to remove that, say client ID, so go to the additional properties here security, and the security here it is client ID, right? So I don't wanted to have this. Let me choose it as a none. Okay. So which means my API is not securing with anything. So now see here, while creating, so whenever you create an API as per your business requirement, you cannot publish directly that API to the catalog. Okay, So whenever you create any API, you cannot publish that API directly to the catalog. So your API should have a, let me draw something so that you will understand better. Okay. Yeah. So here, when you once you create, so this is an API. So once you create API, you cannot directly publish this API to the catalog. So API, we should have a product. We should have a product, and within the product, we will have some plan. Okay, product should contain the plan. Within the plan, our API should be added. Okay, this is a hierarchy: product, plan, API. So once we have this setup, then we can publish this product. Publishing is nothing but deploying. We use the different terminology in the API. Okay, so once we have this complete package, it's like a package. Once we have this product, then we can publish this product to the catalog. Okay, so that's why here, that's why it is asking. So while creating an API itself, now I'm creating an API, right? While creating an API itself, it is asking you to add a product for it. So for time being, once we discuss all the important policies and security aspects, so I'll create a product while creating an API itself. Okay. So now whenever I add a product, just observe. Whenever I add a product, so just observe the product name. So now this is a product name. So product name is your API name suffix with product. My API name is REST API underscore L. So the product name is REST API underscore L product. Okay. And the name and the by default, the default version also, it is a product version also 1.0.0. Whenever you add a product while creating an API itself, what will happen is, so within that product, one plan will be created. That is a default plan. Whenever you create any product, by default, one plan will be created. That is the default plan. So whenever you are adding a product while creating an API itself, within that product, one default plan will be created. Within the default plan, our API will be added. What are the structure diagram I showed? The same way it will have. Okay. So now, so this is the name and version, and you need to publish to your catalog. Okay, so for timing, I wanted to choose the sandbox catalog. Okay, I'm publishing this API, I'm publishing this product to this sandbox catalog. So click create API. Once you click create API, just observe
This stage and dev and sandbox is like a domains.
no, those are like environments. See here, just observe this one. First, you got the two pop-ups on the right corner, right? So first your product will be staged, then after it is published to the catalog. First we got the pop-up saying that stage to the sandbox. Now we got one more pop-up called published. These are the product life cycle. We'll discuss that later. First, whenever you are publishing any product, the first stage should be the stage. But first the product will be staged to the catalog, then after it will publish to the catalog. So that's why we got the two pop-ups from here. So now, so okay, let me talk about catalog. I think you missed the second session. Yesterday I've explained that catalog is nothing but like environment, dev, something like the dev test production. Okay, catalog is nothing but one runtime environment. Okay. Here we will have organization. Those are similar to the domains in the data. Okay. So now, so once I click on create API, it navigated us to the design page, right? So design, source, assemble, we will discuss them later as source and assemble. So now let me explain about the design. So once you click on create API, so it is navigated to the design page, right? So now based on your requirement, you need to design your API. Based on your business requirement, you need to design your API. So in the design, the first option is info, right? In the info, what are the information we provided while creating an API? That information will be shown here, like info, title, name, version, and if you wanted to put some description, you can put here. This in this API, we are we are exposing REST service or else exposing REST service as API. Okay. So you can put some description. Okay. And schemes. Yes, schemes is nothing but all by default it is selected HTTPS, right? So what are the API you created, that API will be exposed over the HTTPS protocol. Okay, so that's why it is constant like HTTPS always. Host is nothing but say it is not hardcore, it is dynamic, right? Catalog.host, which means so here we have a three catalogs: sandbox, dev, test, right? In which catalog you publish that API, that will be the catalog host will be the host of this API. Okay, so this is a dynamic catalog dot host. Dollar of catalog dot host means what are the catalog you will publish this API product. So the catalog host will be the host of this API. Okay, now base path. So the base path this is a same as your API name. If you wanted to change it or if you put the same thing, no problem. So let it be as is. So consumes. Okay, so what is the it's same as consumes and produces, similar to the request type and the response type in the data port. Since you're already familiar with them in the data port, so that's why I'm comparing with it. Consumes is nothing but request type and the produces is nothing but the response type. So here let me keep it as a JSON only. So here what is the request, what is the request I need to send my REST service? Sample JSON message, right? So here that's why my API also I don't want it to transform what are the API I'm going to create now. So in that also it is like a pass through. It doesn't do any transformation, anything. So what is the request coming from the API consumer? So it will pass the same request to the backend. So that's why here consumes it is a JSON only, and the produce also it is sending the backend is sending the JSON, right? So that's why I'm keeping the produce also JSON. Okay, and life cycle. So these are the like base. These are by default it will be selected enforced testable cores. Okay, so policy assembly it is nothing but disassembly. Policy assembly is nothing but disassembly. We'll talk more about this later. And security definition. Suppose whenever you wanted to secure your API, so then the security you need to use the security definition. We'll discuss about these two, security definition and security later. Okay. Properties also I'll explain this later. Properties are similar to Raj. Since you are familiar with IAB, so you will create a UDP, right? So UDP variables as external. So you will, those are the runtime properties, right? So in your bar you can change those values when you are deploying. These properties are similar to the UDP variables in the IAB. Okay, that I will discuss them later. So analytics, this all I will explain you when time comes. Okay, but as of now the important thing is paths. Okay, so
Okay, Raj.
yeah, so I'll explain these things later. So now the important thing is paths. Okay, so when I explained about the API introduction itself, so I've explained like API is composed of operation, which means API is nothing. API contains some operations. So depends upon your backend, you need to create operation. What kind of operation you need to create? Like get, put, what are the HTTP methods we have? So those operation we can create: get operation, post operation, put operation, delete operation. Depends upon your requirement, you need to create the operations here. Okay, now let me see here. My backend is a post operation, right? So similarly here, post operation nothing but we need to send some request in the body, right? So that is why here in my API also, I will create one post operation. What is the request I'm getting from the API consumer? The same request I wanted to send to the backend. So that's why here I need to create a post operation. In the API, you cannot directly create operations. So first you need to create a path. Okay, first you need to create a path. Within the path, you need to create the operation. Okay. So once you in the design page, you cannot directly create the operation. So first you need to create a path. Within that path, you need to create operation. Okay. So first let me create a path. Let me path name is REST service. Okay. Let me my path name is REST service. Okay. I created one path called REST service. Now observe. Whenever I created a path called REST service, here it is properties parameter. We'll talk about this later. Now here, if you observe, for this path, did I create this get operation? No. So this is the default operation. So remember, whenever you create any path, in that path, by default, get operation will be created. So if you look at this add operation, so what are the HTTP methods we have? In one path, we can create all the HTTP methods operation, like one get, one post, one put, delete. You cannot, in the same path, you cannot create two post operation, two get operation. In one path, either you can create only one get, one put, one delete. So these are what are the things you can see here. Those things you can create. Okay. So by default, whenever I created a path, by default this get operation is created, but I don't require this get operation because I need to send some request. I wanted to expect some request in the body from the API consumer, the same request I wanted to send to the backend, right? The backend which I wanted to expose service as API. So that's why I wanted to remove this. I wanted to remove this, delete this operation. There is a delete operation, right? So I clicked on it, I deleted it. Now, which operation I need to create? I need to create the post operation. So that's why I created the post operation and click on that post operation. So this tag, summary, operation ID, this description, all are optional. So here, this is the important thing. So once I created operation, here it is showing the parameters and the response. So this parameter is meant for the request. This parameter is sent for the request. For this particular operation, what are the parameters you wanted to send? Suppose if it is a get operation, you need to send some parameters in the query parameter, right? Right. So we'll discuss that get later parameter later. So whenever you are creating a get operation, you need to create the request parameter. I'll take some scenario and I'll explain with that. But for timing, let's go with the post operation. So whenever you are creating the post operation, you need to create one parameter called request or body or payload. You can, the parameter name can be anything, but for the post operation we will send some content in the body, right? So that's why, so you need to create one parameter. This parameter meant for the request. That request might be either it's in the body or in the query parameter, but whenever you are creating an operation, you need to create this parameter. This parameter meant for the request. That request might be in the query parameters or in the body. So if it is a get, it would be in the query parameter. If it is a post operation, we need to send in the body. So that's why I'm created one parameter as per the naming convention. It's better to create the parameter name. The parameter name can be anything, but it's better to put it something like request or payload or body because it is meant for the request, right? But this is the important thing. Located in is body. We will send the request body, right? The locating should be mandatory. It should be a body. So as soon as you choose it as a body, the type will go as object. Object means either we one in the body, either we send SOAP or XML or JSON, right? Those all JSON or SOAP or XML, these are all the types of object data. So that's why the type will go automatically to object. If you wanted to make it as a required, so you can make it as, you can check this box. Okay, I'm done with this. So as of now, these are only things required in the design page. So about remaining option we'll discuss later. Okay, now let's go to the assemble. Here. So observe here, when I switch to assemble, so here by default there is an invoke policy. So whenever you create a REST API, by default in the assemble you can observe the invoke policy. Okay, so what is the importance of this invoke policy? What is the function of this invoke policy? Now let's try to understand. So here, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to expose this REST web service as API, which means I'm creating my API. So from this API, I need to invoke my web service, which I wanted to expose as API, right? So from this API, I need to call my web service. So that's why. So here invoke policy. So in the projects also mostly you will use the same thing. So that's why whenever you are creating a REST API, by default in the assembly it is showing the invoke policy. The importance of the invoke policy is to invoke any web service and it will get the response. So IAB, since Raj, you are familiar with IAB, so the invoke policy is similar to the HTTP request node, right? So what is the importance of HTTP request node? It will invoke any web service and it will get the response, right? The same as this. The importance of the invoke policy is to make a call to the web service and it will get the response. So that's why let's make use of this invoke policy here. So here you can see the micro gate policies and data power gateway policies, right? So mostly we use the data power gateway policies. Under these policies, we have a different categories of policies like logic, transforms, and policy security. Under the logic, we have these. We will discuss them one by one. Under transform, we have these things, and under the policies, we have these things. So here, the invoke policy under the policies here. So let's make use of this default invoke policy. So we need to configure as per a requirement here. So by default, the title of the policy would be the policy name. So since it is an invoke policy, the title would be the policy name. So let me name it as invoke rest mark. So invoke rest mark. And if you wanted to put some description, you can put it here. And in the URL, so which URL you wanted to invoke. So you need to mention that URL over here. This is my URL, right? This is my URL. So that's why I copied the URL, just mention over here. And access the secure gateway. I'll talk about this later. Secure gateway. In the demo, I think I've explained, like for data power, we will use the data power as a secure gateway. So at this moment, I don't want it to have. So suppose here you can see the TLS profiles, right? Suppose if the backend is HTTPS, so we need to configure the server certificate, the backend certificate here in the data power in our trust store, right? So for that, you need to create a TLS profile. So that once you create the TLS profile, you need to upload that profile over here. So we will discuss that later. And suppose the timeout. So by default, the request default is 60 seconds, right? Which means what is the timeout means? So by default, it is a 60 second, which means so this API current initiate a connection. So once it is initiate a connection, so it will wait 1 minute to get the response. If it is not getting the response within the 1 minute, which means 60 seconds, so it will give a timeout error. Okay, so if you wanted to increase the time like 120 seconds, you can keep it as per your requirement. But let's go with the default time and username and password. So suppose if the backend web service is secured with the basic authentication, so then we need to provide the username and password, right? So here you need to use, but here this web service is not secured with the basic authentication, so we need to mention this username and password. And here you need to mention the HTTP method. So my backend is a post method, so that's why I selected HTTP method. Okay, and these are not required, so let's go with the default options only. Okay, this is the default options. Okay, so now let me save this. So here this is the saving option. Okay, now this is saving option. API is saved. Okay, so now it's going to end in one minute. So let's close this and I will continue the session. Now I wanted to explain about the source. Okay, I'll close this meeting and I'll restart it. Please join the same. Okay, so once we're done with this, let me go to the source, and once I discuss the source, let's try to test this API whether it is working or not. Okay, thank you. I'll stop the screen share and I'll stop the meeting. Please join the same meeting with the same link.